First dates are special, but it could turn into a nightmare for several reasons, one of them surely being the wrong selection of location. Well, we're here to help. Let's check out a few places where you should never ever plan on taking your date, especially if it's your first date. Before we get in on this, be sure to click the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Let's begin. Modern toilet restaurant. Yes, you heard it right. Toilet. We're talking about Taiwan's most successful theme restaurant franchises, the Modern Toilet Restaurant. It has seats and couches shaped as toilets, poop-shaped lights and tiles with flies and poops drawn on them. Under the table glass, you'll find sinks with fake poop. Not just that, you'll get to drink Coke out of mini urinals and eat in toilet-shaped bowls. Even the menu is quirky, with items like crappy meat sauce fries and modern toilet bread. If all these weren't enough, you'll get to eat poop-shaped food items with your date. Though this place could be fun with someone you're already comfortable with, selecting it to go on a date is a big no-no. If you don't want to turn this first date into your last and make yourself feel too uncomfortable, you should definitely avoid this place for your first date. Dinner in the Sky. Dinner in the Sky is an adventure in itself. However, it's also a great way to scare the nonsense out of your date if they're scared of heights. Even if the other person loves adventure, this would be too much for the first meeting. Dinner in the Sky is an extraordinary culinary proposal that welcomes 22 guests along with chefs who prepare a 6-course menu, which is served at 150 feet up in the sky. There's also live entertainment. This will surely serve as a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but with high-speed wind blowing and legs dangling in the air, you neither will have the comfort nor privacy needed for a date. This epic experience doesn't serve the purpose when it comes to romance. It would give you an intense sense of instability and also burn a hole in your pocket with a cost around $300 per person. Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, we all enjoyed going to Chuck E. Cheese when we were kids, and that's why we shouldn't consider this for dates. There'll be a lot of screaming and playing around, and you're not going to get a chance to enjoy your date. Dates are meant to be peaceful. You'd want to talk and know each other. But instead, with all the screaming and crying in the background, along with the sound of machines, you won't be able to hear or talk properly. Don't get me wrong, adults too enjoy Chuck E. Cheese, but will it really serve the purpose of a date? Probably not. The ambience is not quite romantic, and if one of you hates too much noise, this place is definitely not a good choice. Garfield Eats. Garfield Eats is the world's first Garfield-themed restaurant in Toronto. It has the slogan, "Love me, feed me, don't leave me." As you enter the restaurant, you'll find a nicely themed tableless restaurant with accessories such as Garfield-themed t-shirts, masks and cups for sale. It apparently looks clean. The packaging of the food too is quite tempting, but the food isn't so good. The orange Garfield juice has the taste of carrot, but also has chunks. The lasagna tastes okay. The Garfield-shaped pizza does look very good, but it comes with a bright orange sauce which doesn't add to the taste. Overall, it feels overpriced for the quality it gives. Food does play a part when it comes to having a good time. With such bland food, this restaurant doesn't serve the purpose of a good date. You'll find a lot more places with tastier food to spend your evening. Having a Garfield-themed restaurant is a great idea, but not improving on taste is giving the owners a hard time. Their business is failing due to bad reviews. Hospitalis. Hospitals aren't a pleasant place to be, and if you choose to take your date to this hospital-themed restaurant, this is what you're going to find. Bartenders wearing lab coats, waiters and waitresses dressed as doctors and nurses, IV bags hanging on each table and chairs in the shape of wheelchairs. If you want some privacy, there's a separate section called Asylum Isolation, which gives a feeling of Halloween more than romance. Every selection on the menu is created with thematic elements like virgin Mexican blood, fruity eye mutilation and organ surgery parfait. Your drinks will come in beakers with syringes. The ambience gives complete hospital vibes, but the food items may come out as creepy, with a few items shaped as eyeballs and hands. Garnishing is done by writing RIP. Few drinks may come disguised as blood bags. You get my point. This is not a place you want to spend a romantic evening. You won't feel like having a light-hearted conversation, and your date might want to leave early. McDonald's. We loved going to McDonald's when we were teens, eating and throwing fries at each other. We get to have that juicy burger, crispy fries and the delicious Coke without spending a lot. But when it comes to dating, this place is not the best option. There's obviously going to be a lot of noise around with people chatting, teens shouting and kids running. You might end up giving the impression that you don't want to spend money, or you don't want to put in some effort in organising the date. And how do you supposed to stuff that burger in your mouth without spilling the sauce on your dress? There goes your first impression. Happy no second date to you. Fortezza Medecia restaurant. Would you want to experience jail? Welcome to the Fortezza Medecia, an occasional restaurant in Volterra, Italy. It's housed in Medician Fortress, which is a high-security prison for criminals. With armed guards watching above and below, you can find drinks being served in the courtyard and dinner is served in the former church at the fortress ground. This jail has some of the country's most hardened criminals, and 8 times a year it hosts dinner, where prisoners do all the cooking and the serving. It started as a rehabilitation program which is serving its purpose as a few ex-inmates are now chefs. But to get here, you need to get a background check and you cannot carry your mobile phone or any metal with you. You'll also be required to make an appointment months in advance, as it attracts a lot of clients and international press. You may have a good time here as food is good and there's also live entertainment, but the ambience is anything but romantic. Asking your date for a background check and leaving her belongings before entering may come across as rude. The Robot Restaurant. Since July 2012, the Robot Restaurant in Tokyo offers a spectacular robot-themed cabaret show. You'll find neon-themed place with dancers, lasers, flashing lights, monsters, music and robots. Even though the attraction is officially called a restaurant, it's more of a 90-minute long show. Tickets for the Robot Restaurant typically sell out, so you'd need to make a booking in advance. They do serve food here. You can add a meal to your reservation or buy directly at the restaurant. You can have 3 meal options: grilled beef dinner box, Japanese-style dinner box, or the robot sushi, and complimentary bottles of water. However, the meals here may seem a little overpriced and nothing special. Why we do not recommend this place for a date night is the fact that it's too loud and distracting. This place serves a great entertainment, but won't help you spend a romantic time with your date. With all the dancing, shouting and other fun stuff, you may end up becoming their fun hangout buddy. Disaster Cafe. Normally people are terrified of earthquakes, but at the Disaster Cafe people pay to experience a simulated 7.8 quake while they enjoy their meal. The place is so popular that you need to make reservations in advance. As you enter, you'll find the ground level is an alien-themed restaurant for kids, decorated as a spaceship, and for grown-ups, the fun stuff happens below ground. The staff here wears construction helmets and other safety equipment. Once you're inside this cave-like restaurant, you'll realize lights start to go out occasionally, people start screaming, chairs, tables, and pretty much everything in the room start shaking, and there's nothing you can do but wait for it to stop. There isn't going to be serious injuries at the Disaster Cafe, but there is a high chance that you'll spill your food and drinks here and there. The dishes are heavy, so they'll stop your meal from flying off the table, but accidents can happen. And when you remain so conscious the whole time, do you really expect anything romantic to happen? Coming out with hair all undone and food all over your dress is not very pleasant appearance to be with your date, so we suggest not going here for a romantic evening. Ichiran. Ichiran is a popular ramen chain in Japan where ordering is done via vending machines. You pay the amount, select the type of Ichiran and get a ticket from the vending machine. You can even customize the ramen according to your needs. You can also add toppings and opt for desserts and pay the extra amount in cash. The customization happens at your seat, but here comes the twist. Each seat is separated from the next by a wooden partition, so you concentrate only on the food. It's a very private dining experience and people don't talk to each other. The food is delicious, but if we talk about spending time together with your date, there's not much to do. You may seem boring and uninterested if all you do on a date is focus on the food. If you still want to taste this fine ramen, Ichiran is present at 65 locations around the world. Fresh Feast. There are numerous hot pot restaurants in Taiwan and mainland China. So to stand out, the owners of Fresh Feast restaurant decided for some extreme marketing and hired 5 bikini-clad models to serve food to the customers. Now imagine taking your date to a place with such a sight around. They may complain how degrading it is for women to be dressed like this to attract customers. You would also not want to give an impression of being lustful. Though the strategy worked for advertising, it's not a very good choice for a romantic hangout. Even the owners received both positive and negative feedback. But as long as people talk about Fresh Feast, their advertisement campaign will be considered successful. At last, we can only say that you should try avoiding any themed restaurants for your first date, except if it's a romantic themed restaurant, and go to some quiet place with not many distractions so you can enjoy the time with your date and they can appreciate your effort. What do you think about these restaurants? Let us know in the comments below.